Morning, everybody. Mark from MT Restorations here. Wanted to share with you a new find I have recently. I found this 248 Lionel box engine, I guess you call it. Looks in pretty bad shape when you look underneath here, but looking at the outside, the exterior is in really good shape. Tarnished, obviously, but I can't find any dinghies, dents. Looks original. The paint's original, I would believe. I know there's a ripple here in the paint, but I have seen that before from Lionel. They back in the day actually dipped their paint pieces in paint and hung them up to dry, and some of them did run back in the day. I'm not saying that this hasn't been painted, but there's a little bit of that visible here and here, a little bit of extra paint, but if it was painted, it was painted long ago. But we'll find out. I'm going to take it apart and see what it looks like inside. But you know, some of the things that make it seem, you know, pretty much original, these screws, take this out, we're going to take these off. These are the original screws that Lionel used to hold the cabs onto the frames, and they're both here. Those are usually the first things to disappear after so many years. People going inside them, take them apart. But anyway, it's don't know if it runs, because obviously it won't budge because the wheels are so stuck. They need to go. They're pretty bad shape. Hopefully, I mean, everything else looks reasonable. I like the plate, original plate, still intact. Roller system has wear. You can see it was run a lot, but everything's there. The original couplers, because the original couplers had both the latch and the hook where you could put the early cars that Lionel made and hook them into here, which was kind of cool. They thought a little bit of ahead and had the couplers suited for both types of couplings. So with that, the wiring is brittle. You can see just by touching it, it starts to come apart. Indications, again, like original stuff. So first we're going to take the screws out. This one's loose already. Again, same screws that hold the cab on, they use to hold the chassis and the motor together. You can see these are also original ones, which, like I said, if anybody had this apart in the past, I'm not saying that everybody lost the screws, but a lot of folks in and out of these things for whatever reasons would lose the screws eventually. But I've worked on a lot of these and never found 4 screws alike on anything. So with that, I'm gonna cut this light wire off for now, because I am going to rewire it. So we'll just snip it up in here, and we'll get back to that later. So we got the shell set aside, frame set aside, and again, it's in really good shape, as we can see. Looking at the frame parts are all here, a little tarnished, but they're not banged up. Everything's here, and they're, like I said, they're in great shape. So that's a good find. So let's see here. Obviously these wheels are a problem. Let's see if we can pop them off and go from there. Obviously, we don't have to be too careful. I don't think we can hurt them any more than they are. It's a shame. But let's see if we can get these. This wheel is the only one that seems to be fairly good shape. Yeah. So anyway, oh, there we go. Something gumming it up, but get the crud that falls out of the gears, but it rolls, spins. Seems to spin okay, so that's a good sign. What do you think? Should we try it? Yeah, let's see. I got a couple leads over here. Let's see what happens. You never can tell. So let's pop some power onto the roller assembly. And we'll ground out the frame here a little bit. And let's see what happens. Whoop. Lost my ground here. Don't have a good ground going on the grease. Let's see if we can try that again. It's hard to tell. It might have a bad wire shorting out somewhere under here. Alright, well, we'll continue on. We'll see what's going on with this. So we know that the wheels are kind of shot. That's not even a... Well, yeah, well. So we want to put these... We don't want to lose all the screws. Put them here for the moment. Put these aside. Let's see what happens here. We'll open this up. Hold down a little bit. See what we find here in the brush assembly. Okay, so we got two brushes. Look, they look original. Pretty cruddy. Pretty cruddy in there. But let's see here. We're going to take this off. I think I have a little wrench for that. Let me see here. Is it this one? Yep. Let's take the gear off of there. We got to clean all these things anyway. So we'll take that off, take this gear out of there. Yeah, boy, it's pretty crusty under there. So we'll get this cleaned up best we can. And it's going to need wires. Now these only ran forward back in the day when they first were made. So what we're going to do is, these are two hot lines, obviously. One was for the light. They came off of the roller assembly with two wires back then. And they dedicated one for the light and one for the brush. So I'm going to take these off. And let's see here. We'll take this one off here. It's kind of easy to remember where the wires go. It's not that complicated on the ones that go forward only. But the wire was crimped around the screw. Another indication from Lionel, they came originally that way. They did a pretty good job of pulling the wire around the screw. So you can see how bad this one is. It's all broken up. It's all bad. We're gonna clean this off, clean this off, clean this all out. Use some degreaser on this, and I think the roller assembly is good. You just need to clean it brush these rollers with the wire wheel, get all this grease off. We're going to clean armature the best we can, and we're going to shine it up, clean all the parts. We're going to put it back together. I do think I have some wheels. Let me see what I have here. I do have, I have one, I have two. I don't think I have another drive wheel. Oh, here's one, not too bad. Here's a black spoked one. But I don't think I have. Oh, there we go. Nope. Alright, well, here we go. Here we go. Ah, lucky, lucky, lucky. Okay, so we got two new ones. We're going to use this, and we're going to use that for drive wheels. How you like that? So the one side will look pretty much the same, and the other side will look kind of new for now. So at least we have a way that we can get this put back together. So I'm going to set those all aside, but we do have wheels. These will have to go bye-bye, and we'll take the gear off of here. Gears and the axles are always worth saving. And I got to get some wheels. Pick up a few more. And so we're going to take a little break while I organize my cleanup, get my degreaser out, and we'll be back and we'll see how I progressed. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So, where I left that was a lot of degreasing had to happen. So we cleaned this all up. I think it looks pretty good. The armature's been cleaned, got inside, cleaned it up in there, took the gear off, cleaned both sides, cleaned everything up, washed out well, gave this a little brushing. I think this will work well. But the roller, cleaned up the brush plate, the brushes, and the little spacer. So now I took the liberty cutting off some of the other bad wires that were all cracked up. And as I mentioned before, they had two coming off the power roller, one for the engine and one for for the motor, one for the light. I just braided them together because I'm gonna leave them both together and use them. This one here, I think I'm just going to cut and resolder on something a little bit nicer. We really don't need that. It's braided wire, it's pretty beat up. I'm just going to toss that one, and I got plenty of new wire. I'll use cloth wire. This is a single strand copper. This will go to a brush, so I don't need a lot of it. So I'll take care of that. We're going to strip this wire down here. Got a few fibers. Not a big deal. Use my little trusty Swiss pocket knife for that. Trim off the little hairs. There. So we'll solder that onto there, and we'll clean this side. We're going to make it a little bit longer because we're going to actually, there's another hair, another fiber there. I'm going to put a little loop in this one. We're going to bend that around the brush screw, so we're going to do that. So let's see if we can stand this up a little bit, get it to stay. Get my little soldering gun here. Heat this up. And we'll get this wire on here. Cut some off. We're not going to need all that on there. I'll trim it a little bit. Okay, we got a good bite there. Trim little bit off of that. So that's all set. What I like to do is put this end on. You'll find it, if you do that before you put the brush plate on, it'll be much easier, because if you have to do it before you put the wheels on. Okay, so what I've done since we've been back, I have added some wire for the hot side. I'm going to put the brush back in now. So what I do works out sometimes pretty well. Get a couple toothpicks, pick up that spring that holds the brush, kind of push the spring up through, grab a hold of it with the point of the toothpick, and that way you can put the brush assembly on for the most part. Snug it up, get that started there. You don't have to crank them down yet. And then what we want to do is we'll put the brushes in from the top side instead of trying to fight with them, because they are a bugger to get in. So I just snug that down, snug that down. Drop that in, put the brush spring back over top. There you go. Drop this brush in. And drop that spring back down. So you can see the springs. You can get under them with a toothpick fairly easily, and that helps hold them out of the way while you work the plate back on. So maybe you could try that. Maybe you have a better way, but that's the less frustrating way for me. So anyway, we're back together. We got the wires on. This seems to run freely. I don't anticipate any problem. So I did provide a light for the wire, or wire for the light I should say, and I did solder this up. Got a little burr here. Smash that down a little bit, and I will put a little piece of shrink wrap on that, and that should protect that. Where'd I put my shrink wrap? Here we go. Let's see what size fits on there the best. I might be able to get by with this small stuff again. Let's see. I think we can. So we'll cut a little piece. We'll feed this down over top here. I like shrink wrap. There, that's pretty cool. That'll keep everything pretty well protected. We'll heat this up a little bit. Check out that, see what we're doing there. Looks pretty good. All right, so we got that done. So we'll let this till we're ready to put the light on. We'll play with that after. We're all ready to go. So back to wheels. So what we can do here, let's try. We'll try a little power again, see what happens. Let's see here. Okay, so back to the brush, to the roller. Got a little neutral. Wow, look at that. That was just a little teeny bit of power. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so far so good. All right, so we know we got the armature rolling along. So we just want to put a little bit of oil right here on the armature assembly there, and work that in. Turn the gear a little bit. That'll lube up the shaft on this end, and we'll put a little bit here We don't want to get it too gooey yet till we get wheels on it and get it ready for the truck. But I just wanted to get some back here while we have the opportunity. And so, wheels, I think we'll throw some on quickly just to try it. How's that? We'll get the drive wheels on. I found another drive wheel on my old stock, so look at that. Okay, so we got those. All we have to do is press on the new wheels, and we should be pretty good to go. We could try it. Okay, so I got the wheels pressed on. So far, so good. So I'm going to throw it on the test track, and we'll see how that works. So give me a minute while I get the track and get this on it, set up, and we'll see how it works. Give me a minute. Okay, here we are. I put the shell back on. I put a light bulb in it. I put a green one. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. I think it runs really good. I like it. So, this thing here is probably 9 years old or so, maybe more. I'd have to look it up, see what year it is. But I think it's pretty close to that. And all I had to do is clean it, and you put some wheels on it, change out the wiring, and put a bulb. The body and frame is in great shape. So it moves along very nicely. So another project complete. Hope you liked it. Hope it helped. In case you want to do any of these yourself, they're not that difficult. Again, this is Mark from MT Restorations. If you have any questions or comments, really like to see them, you can email me at MT.TrainRestorations@gmail.com, and you'll probably see this video on YouTube in a little while. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Till next time, bye bye.